Hi, welcome back to my channel, Open the Door. This is episode 20. So today we're going to open the door to what's known as the dark night of the soul. And this might be a door that you don't want to unlock, but it's important to talk about. So buckle up for a lesson on the dark night of the soul. You might not have ever heard of this. I had not until I started my spiritual journey, and then I've experienced several dark nights myself. So for anybody out there that may be in the midst of one and not even realize it, hopefully this video could help you today. My eyes water, I'm not crying. So the dark night of the soul is a spiritual concept of a profound period of inner turmoil, doubt, and or despair. It can occur during a spiritual journey as we're moving towards enlightenment or towards a closer connection and union to the divine, to our Creator. But it's seen as a crucial stage of growth and transformation for the person. And without the dark night of the soul, you're not able to move forward on your path in the spiritual journey. So what happens during the dark night of the soul is that you confront your deepest fears and struggles and work through them. And this is not a fast process. It takes a while. So that means that you're in the dark night. It could be months. It was for me. But we confront these deep fears and struggles before we emerge after working through these things with more clarity and understanding of the lessons in our life, our pains and struggles that we've gone through, and greater clarity on who we are and where we stand. So does everyone go through the dark night of the soul? Well, not everyone goes through it in the same way or to the same degree. But many people do encounter periods of profound inner struggle or questioning their lives. But yeah, the dark night can vary greatly in intensity and duration, and even for the same person, for myself. The first dark night I went through was, I would consider it that deep period of depression that I went through after my mom crossed over. But it could be, as I said, it could be months. It's pretty rare for it to just be a few days, but normally it's extended period of time, several months. But anyway, can everyone, come out the other end? Well, with help and support and the right guidance, you can. But it's important to understand some aspects about it. So it often occurs during times of significant personal growth or transition or a crisis. And as I said, for me, it was my first dark night was triggered by the loss of my mom and my best friend. So what else can trigger it? Well, it can be a combination of internal and external factors, but major life transitions often can kick off the dark night of the soul for people. It could be anything from the loss of a loved one to a breakup or a career change or a move. Anything that destabilizes our sense of stability and purpose and identity can trigger this dark night of the soul and activate it. A spiritual crisis, when we're not sure of where we stand in our faith and our beliefs, when we have disillusionment with religious beliefs or spiritual practices, and when we're feeling disconnected from the higher power, from our higher power. Trauma or adversity, abuse, illness, forms of suffering can all be triggers for the dark night of the soul, as well as chronic stress, prolonged periods of having our well-being feel like it's being eroded away, and periods of illness as well can trigger the dark night of the soul. So inner growth, which is a natural part of the process of spiritual development, can actually trigger the dark night of the soul because we're being forced to look at aspects of ourselves that we've chosen to hide or repress or suppress. And as we move along on our spiritual path, these aspects, things that we have pushed down, will rise to the surface because most often it's related to traumas, past relationship issues, things that need to be dealt with once and for all. So the elements of the dark night will typically involve these type of things, feelings of despair, doubt, confusion, a sense of emptiness. And it brings about a deep questioning of our beliefs and our values and purpose in life. It does involve, as I just mentioned, in confronting unresolved traumas and sometimes facing existential questions, or questions that have to do with our purpose in life and our place in the world. It can bring a sense of profound isolation or loneliness, especially when we're in the midst of it and not reaching out for help or support from others. So if you're in the middle of the darkness, please find someone, family, friend, or professional, maybe clergy, a spiritual practitioner, someone to talk to about your issue, so that you're not in it alone. But also, the dark night of the soul can be seen as a transformative process that does lead to greater self-awareness, spiritual awakening, and personal growth. It's the kind of thing that you have to, I hate to say tough it out, but it's one of those parts of the journey where you do need to be patient with yourself and realize that without working through these things, there's no progress. So, as I said, the duration varies from weeks to months or even years, and factors that influence the duration and intensity are related to our own level of inner turmoil, our past life experiences, how have we been abused or suffered trauma, the effectiveness of our coping mechanisms, and, as I said, the level of support that's available to us, and are we utilizing that support. Well, how do you know if you're having a dark night? Well, I guess first of all would be to reflect on your emotional state and your thought patterns and your overall sense of well-being, to just sort of take the temperature and determine where you stand. So some signs of the dark night would include persistent feelings of emptiness or despair, intense questioning of our beliefs, values, or life purpose. We're struggling with doubt and uncertainty and existential angst. When we have difficulty finding meaning or satisfaction in life. When we have a sense of spiritual disconnectedness or feeling alienated from others and from our Creator, if you have faith. God, whatever word resonates for you. When we're feeling emotional or psychological turmoil without a clear cause, can be a sign that you're having a dark night of the soul. And persistent and consistent feelings of sadness, anxiety, or hopelessness. So, you might have asked yourself as you've been listening to me talk, have I had one of these? Have I ever gone through a dark night of the soul? Well, if you haven't, you may experience one or two in your life path. And that's okay, because it's meant to happen. It's meant to help us grow and become better versions of ourselves. So here are some tips if you find that you are in the dark night, or in the future when you are. How to find the light during the dark night. Work towards restoring balance in your body, your mind, and your spirit. All three, they're interconnected. Be patient, as I said. This process takes time and effort to work through, and it can't be rushed. If you were trying to rush through this, and just, okay, this week I'm going to work on healing this, and next week we're going to do the second thing on the list, it doesn't work that way. And oftentimes our issues that we need to work through overlap each other. So be patient. Just know that this kind of stuff takes time. It takes a lot of time. Find what resonates with you and incorporate that into your routine. And I'm talking about self-care type of things. So if it's meditation every day for 10 minutes, a walk in nature, taking a hot bath, getting some physical activity, as in, rigorous exercise, listening to music, whatever you find is helping and working for you, to kind of deal through the struggles of the dark night, then do it consistently. Connect with the community. Seek out support groups or just volunteer or join a club. So you're probably not going to find support groups on Google, or you might find support groups for people going through the dark night of the soul. I don't know. I haven't Googled it. I have not come across any, but there's a variety of support groups out there that could help you, that may fit the model of what you're going through. Praying to a higher power, and whether that's God, the angels, your spirit guides, your ancestors. I'm thinking of religious terms right now, and I thought of angels and saints. But any energetic connectedness you feel to the other side of the veil, let's say, if that's God, angels, saints, whatever works for you, use prayer. It's a good way to speak our truth and not feel that we're being judged. And as you immerse yourself into more and more prayer, you will sense a feeling of support coming from the other side. It really is true. Holistic help is another way to help you find the light when you're going through the night. So things like Reiki, acupuncture, yoga, massage, treatments, drum circles, anything along those lines, but also let's not disregard the traditional therapies as well. Psychotherapy, counseling, all valid therapies. And for myself, it was a combination of both holistic and traditional therapies that helped me find the light. Nature as a healer, again, personal experience, but my connection to nature is strong. And I spend a lot of time in nature, and I find it to be extremely healing. I feel a deep connectedness and a oneness, not just to the earth and nature, but to spirit, to God, to our Creator when I'm outside in nature. So whether it's walks, hikes, picnics, or just sitting by moving water, can be extremely healing and calming. Other ways to find the light when you're in the dark of night would be creative outlets like music, art, drawing, dance. Explore spiritual or philosophical resources for words of wisdom and guidance. And self-reflection and mindfulness is another great tool to help you turn toward the light, find the light when you're stuck in that darkness. If you do happen to be going through the dark night right now, number one, know that you're not alone. And please reach out and talk to someone that you trust, that you feel that you can confide in, who you feel would openly receive what it is you need to say and be a great sounding board, and hopefully give you some good advice and guidance, and be a consistent, stable source of support for you as well as you go through your dark night. If you have any questions at all, please put them in the comments, and I'll try to direct you in the right direction. But so this is my lesson today, the dark night of the soul. I'm going to be doing a sound bath today as well, so you'll get two videos uploaded. As always, I thank you for joining me. I wish you peace, love, and light. Please take good care of yourself. And I'll see you again soon.